In this particular video, we will look into two organelles of endomembrane system. The two organelles of endomembrane system which we will look into this particular video. The first is the lysosome and second is the vacuole. If we talk about lysosomes, then it has single membrane. So these are single membrane bound and these are vesicular structures. Vesicular structures means it will be in the form of vesicles and these will be formed from Golgi apparatus. So Golgi apparatus function was formation of vesicles and the same process results into the formation of lysosomes. These lysosomes are very rich in enzymes which are hydrolytic. Hydrolytic enzymes are also called as hydrolases. Hydrolases are the digestive enzymes. Four types of hydrolases are present. The first type are called as carbohydrases. These will digest carbohydrates. Second is the lipases. These will digest fats or lipids. Third are the proteinases. These will digest proteins. And the fourth type is nucleases, which will result in the digestion of nucleic acids. These all hydrolytic enzymes, these are active at acidic pH. So acidic pH is required for optimal activity of these particular hydrolases. After lysosomes, we come to the vacuoles. Vacuoles also have single membrane and the name of membrane in the case of vacuoles is called as tonoplast. We can say that vacuoles are membrane bound spaces which are present in cytoplasm. Vacuoles are only present in plant cells. Vacuoles are never found in animal cells. If we talk about plant cells, then 90% volume of plant cell can be occupied by this vacuole. Components of vacuole: it can have water inside it, it can have sap inside it, excretory product can be present in it, and even the materials which are not useful for cells can be present in vacuole. Now, one important activity of vacuoles is that the membrane of vacuole transfers the ions or materials against the concentration gradient. So we will just look into it. So let us consider that this is the cell and in this cell, this is the vacuole which is present. The membrane of vacuole will be called as tonoplast. Now, this particular vacuole will have water, sap, excretory products or materials that are not useful for cell. Now, this particular membrane will transport these materials inside. So, this is the cytoplasm. These materials are going into these vacuole through this tonoplast and it will be against the concentration gradient. So, if it is against the concentration gradient, then the concentration of these materials will be higher inside and the concentration of materials will be lesser inside. So what is the phenomena which is resulting in it? It is that tonoplast is working against the concentration gradient. Now these vacuoles can be called as food vacuoles in the case of protist. These can be called as contractile vacuoles in amoeba. When these function as food vacuoles, they engulf food particles, and if they function as contractile vacuole, they work for osmoregulation as well as they work for excretion. So, this is the detail of vacuole. After vacuoles, we come to the membranous organelles that are not part of endomembrane system. So, there are three organelles. The first organelle is the mitochondria, second is the plastids, and third are microbodies. So, we will talk about these organelles one by one, starting with mitochondria. If we talk about the number of mitochondria, then its number in the cell is variable, it is not same. The cells which are functionally more active have more mitochondria, and the cells which are not so physiologically active, they have less mitochondria. Similarly, if we talk about the shape and size of mitochondria, it is variable in different cells. Normal shape, we call it cylindrical or we call it sausage shape. Coming to the membranes which are present in mitochondria. So these are double membrane bound. So there will be outer membrane which is present and there will be inner membrane which is present. In this particular diagram, this outer layer, this is the outer membrane which is shown here. So this is the outer membrane and inside it will be the inner membrane. So this is the inner membrane. Now, this particular yellowish outer membrane, this will form a continuous limiting boundary. So, it will be smooth or continuous. But if we talk about the inner membrane, the green colored which we are showing in this particular diagram, it will form infoldings and the infoldings will be called as crista. So, these membrane will be infolded like this and these infoldings, these will be called as crystal. Now, if we see this particular diagram, so this is the outer membrane, this is the inner membrane. Inner membrane is folded in the form of crista. So, this is the structure and the inner part which is present here, this is called as matrix. So, here we will call this matrix. This is the matrix. If we talk of the space which is present between outer membrane and inner membrane, this is called as intermembrane space. So, this is the structure of mitochondria. If we talk about the function of cristae, these infoldings, then obviously these are increasing the surface area. If surface area is increased, then the enzymatic content will also be increased. After this, we will talk about the detail of this intermembrane space and we will talk about this matrix. So, where is this intermembrane space? The space between outer and inner is intermembrane space. And if we talk about matrix, matrix has single double stranded circular DNA. So, normally DNA is present inside the nucleus, but mitochondria is an organelle which also has DNA into it, but the DNA will be circular into it. There will be some RNA molecules which will be present and also some 70S ribosomes will be present into this matrix. Talking about the functions of mitochondria, mitochondria is the powerhouse of cell. So, all the cellular energy in the form of ATP is produced in mitochondria and it happens by the process of oxidative phosphorylation.